Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Happy October, happy Libra season. So I just wanted to pop on here very quickly and let you know I'm going to be discontinuing my private reading services as of the middle of October, just simply because of some changes and things that I have going on my end of things. So if you wanted to get a session, and I'm only going to be offering Zoom 60-minute Zoom sessions. I know in the past I had pre-recorded sessions, but I won't be doing that now. We'll only do Zoom sessions. So if you want to book something, now is the time to do it. It's a perfect time anyway, because we're coming up on the new year, believe it or not. We're finishing up 2025 and we're going to be focusing on the upcoming year. So if you want a year ahead overview for 2026, we can certainly do that. Or we can use the time however you want with any topic that's on your mind. So now would be the time to get that on the books. I won't have it open past October 15th. So that will be the cutoff date. And that will be it. So if you get it on the books now, you'll be in. If not, I won't be opening it up for anyone else after that point. Okay? All right, so let's go ahead and get into your monthly reading for October. Hello, Leo, and welcome to your October 2025 tarot card reading. So let's go ahead and see what comes through for you for the next 4 to 5 weeks as we move through the rest of Libra season and on into Scorpio season. What is it that Leo needs to know? So we start with the 5 of Coins, Ace of Wands, 5 of Swords. Geez, Leo, what's going on here today? We got some tough cards. The 5 of Coins feels like maybe there's an area where you're just feeling a bit depleted or defeated, where there's just kind of, I don't know. This card it's one of the most challenging cards because it's hard to get out of this place. Sometimes it's financial burden, sometimes it's health, sometimes there's relationship stuff that comes through. But I do know that this card is usually a turning point. It's like when we hit this place, and it has different feelings, right? Sometimes we feel helpless, or sometimes we feel annoyed and frustrated with ourselves for allowing something to happen. Sometimes we get mad at external things or other people. Sometimes we feel like I don't know how or what or where, right? So sometimes it's like there's just a lot of questions that come with this 5 of Coins, and those answers don't really seem like they're coming, and so we just kind of stay in this 5 of Coins depleted place. Now, this may not be in every area of your life, okay? It may just be one thing that you're really dealing with, but I feel like October is really a month where something comes in that says, hey, Leo, this is the path you should follow to help you to get out of this space. Now, one of the struggles here with the 5 of Coins, this really comes back to like law of attraction and manifestation 101 type of stuff. It's really hard sometimes to look around you and to see the scarcity and to see the lack and still like say, oh, but there's still so much abundance in this universe, right? There's still so much money available to me. There's still love available to me. There's still all these wonderful things available to me, because it's like this situation is so in your face all the time. And it's like, well, but this is the reality. This is it, right? So we have to kind of find a way to tune out the visuals, right? To tune out what you're seeing right now and really hone in on the sense of possibility, right? To hone in on how do we grow. And again, I do think the universe is going to provide answers for you. I think the universe is going to provide a path or an idea or a desire. Now, keep in mind that the Ace of Wands is just a beginning. It is just a potential. And we are the ones that have to invest and dedicate and commit ourselves to the growth of this. But this certainly is going to feel like a passion, okay? It's going to feel like this is something I really want to do. But it's not wanting from like an ego place, right? It's from a more soul place. It's a quiet, divine, spiritual place, right? Really rooted in God, rooted in the divine. But it feels right. And I get this Five of Swords here. And again, it kind of feels like it kind of circles back and it says, it's like, I think there are other people involved here. Okay. And I think this is the hardest part, because you may want to win or want to conquer or want to be right or want them to see your side and hear your voice, and you want that. I just don't think that there's any benefit to that at all. And when it comes to other people, they have to be left out of the equation. This isn't about them. This isn't about them seeing you in any type of way or them understanding you or them doing anything, right? This Ace of Wands is for you and for you alone. Okay? This is your opportunity to rise. It's your opportunity to grow, to find whatever it is you're kind of looking for. This is not the answer. Other people are not the answer. This is a time to walk away from things, okay? Just leave it on the table. You don't need it. You don't need them, or you don't need what they're, you just don't need it. And to me, this card is like a sinkhole. It's like the more and more energy you put into that, the less and less you get out. So there's no point. This is a time for boundaries. This is a time to set that line firm, especially with this Devil card, right? This is very much about discipline and self-control, right? We don't want to let our pride get in our way. We don't want to let again, if there's a desire to be right or seen or anything like that, we don't want to cater to that stuff right now, because this is going to pull away from the beauty and the excitement of this Ace of Wands, which is what this whole reading is all about. It's saying, Leo, a pathway is opening up for you, but you cannot be blind to seeing it, right? You have to be able to see it. This stuff keeps you blind. And I even literally have a card here with a blindfold on it. Okay? And the blindfold is saying, you have to be able to see. But the seeing, I guess, technically is not really done with your eyes. It's done with your spirit. Everything here is done in spirit. Okay? There might be a healing experience in this for you, but I do think it's going to take a lot of self-control, as we see with the Devil, a lot of commitment, a lot of self-trust, a lot of self-respect, right? And this feels like separation to me, right? We have these two people walking away, right? We need to separate ourselves from whatever does not serve. And chances are there's at least one thing that does not serve, because it has brought you to this Five of Coins place, which is not a great place to be in, because it kind of attracts, it kind of puts you into a negative feedback loop, that Five of Coins. It's hard to get out from under the water, right? It's hard to get your head out of water with that Five of Coins. And that's the whole point, is we're trying to get our head above water. We're trying to be able to crawl out of that so that we do not have to feel that oppression or that stress or that anxiety anymore. But I think you're going to have, for me, I look at this Devil and I feel like it's the battle of wills. And I'm kind of seeing two different wills. And I know that sounds kind of strange, because I know we don't really talk about that all that much, but there's the will that is rooted in the benevolent divine spirit. And then there's the will of the ego. And the ego has to lose. Right? The ego absolutely has to lose, because it's the ego that keeps you in this trap. It's the pride and all that. Okay? So I think being aware, being self-aware, being introspective, being honest about what things, like what's real and what's not, it's going to be very important. Let's see what comes through with like the second part of this reading, because that was a tough first start. I'm not going to lie. Those were some tough cards. But let's see what else comes through. More intuition with that High Priestess. See, this reading feels like a battle of past versus future to me. It feels like there's this pulling to the past, but you have to fight to bring the future in. And in order to do that, you have some demons to fight. I love this Seven of Coins. Leo, this does not have to be an emotional moment in time. And as much as this may be like a little bit of a hard reading, this doesn't seem emotional to me. This actually feels quite stoic, even emotionless. All right, this is not about feelings. This is not about what is owed to you or whatever. This is just factual. And I love this card so much. This card really just speaks to, like, I always say it like this. Like, let's say you work at a retail store and it's time to take inventory. Well, if you go into the back shelves and you start counting and you've got 10 of this item and 15 of this item and you've got 25 of that one, well, that's what you've got. You've got 10, 15, and 20, right? That's what you've got. You've got what you've got. And when we're in this place of just this is what it is, and we don't have to feel any type of way about it, I think what it does is it helps the empowerment to come through. And that's what the Ace of Wands really needs. Because I feel like that Ace of Wands is trying so hard to be this force of light in your life, to be this joy, to be this source of happiness, to be this source of optimism and, again, possibility. But it's amongst all this other stuff that seems to be trying to pull you back or trying to distract. The Ace of Wands represents the future and where you're going. And all this other stuff seems to be pulling you back into the past. And so you have to consistently connect intuitively with your future. And you have to ask yourself, if I want to move forward, what's the best course of action today? If I want to move on with my life, what's the best course of action today? If I want to get out of my 5 of coins, if I want to get out of my strife, what is the best course of action today? And to open yourself up as a vessel to receive that information. The problem with these cards here, the 5 of Swords and the Devil, is they are so shut down and they do not receive information. And when I say information, it can be information from anything, whether it's insight from spirit or advice from other people, or information you read from books or from an article or what you see on TV, or, it's so shut down to new ways of thinking. But this is an open vessel. And again, that's why we need to lean in here. And to not judge yourself too harshly with the state of things, okay? Because the state of things is irrelevant at this point. It is an indication of the past, right? Because when you're looking at your current moment, you're looking at the evidence of what your life is, that is a reflection of the past. Because that, like, where you are today is the manifestation of many decisions and many actions and many thoughts from way back then. So in this moment, today, you can change this course. And I didn't really talk too much about the 2 of Swords. And I think that's what this is this is that moment that you change course. And you go from being a bit shut down to being open and non-judgmental toward yourself. And you start to let spirit channel itself through you. You let spirit communicate with you. And I think there's a softening here. There's a kind of a warming quality, because these are very cold energies, right? And then we have this burst of fire right here in the middle. And I think that fire takes a minute to melt the ice. But when that ice does start to melt, you start to feel like things are manageable. Because that's the problem with the Five of Coins, is that, again, it feels like we're drowning sometimes, and we don't always feel like that circumstance is manageable. We don't always feel like we can handle it on our own. Like we need help. We need someone else to come into our lives and fix it for us sometimes. And we don't always like that, especially not a Leo, which is, it's not a, this is a Leo. It's a very responsible, self-accountable type of sign. And so when we get to these places where we're like, I don't know what to do, it can be even that much more frustrating. So we have to get back to that place of, okay, I can do this. Now, I'm not saying you have to do everything all by yourself all the time. I think you should incorporate assistance from other people when and where you can. But this is not a moment of victim stuff. Like Leo's not going to play the victim here. This is not about being a victim. Right? This is about empowerment. That's the Ace of Wands. And that's why we have to focus on the Ace of Wands. Because if we continue to focus on this, our heart is going to continue to be closed. It's going to put us in a bad mood. We're not going to be receptive to new things. We're not going to go live our lives. We're not going to do all these things that Spirit really wants us to go do. So the fire from the Ace of Wands is sort of melting the ice. And that's when we get this warming effect. And that's when we start to be able to receive a little bit more. And with this Knight of Coins, we start taking steps. Now, this is a Virgo energy. And the Virgo quality is accentuated, especially with the South Node in Virgo. We just had Virgo season. So I think we're still kind of thinking about the fundamentals. Fundamentally, what is a task I can do today, right? This really coincides with the Seven of Coins here too. It's like, in a realistic way, in a stoic, non-emotional way, what is one task? And it's all about the tasks, by the way. This is about things that you can do. This is about embodiment. What is a task that you can do today that is going to get you to your goal? Which is, of course, the Ten of Coins, because the Ten of Coins is always our goal, right? The Ten of Coins is the life that you want to live. It is the money you want to have. It is the relationship you want to have. It is the dreams, the vision board that you see. But keep in mind that this is the soul-driven ambition, not from the ego. If you're sitting here, and this is why I'm saying this, because the devil seems very strong to me in this reading, and it says, well, I want that very specific person to do this very specific thing, and I want this very specific outcome. You are chopping off all of the bounty that the universe is trying to give you right now. You're just lopping it off and throwing it in the trash. Because the thing with these types of goals is you can have an idea, right? You can have the vision and have the vision board and all of that, but you also don't want to be too specific there either, right? Because that's going to be a case of be careful what you ask for, because you just might get it. Like if you want that specific person to do this specific thing, they may do that and it might be a miserable experience, right? Because you may realize, oh, I don't really like that person all that much, or, something like that. Or that's not really the life that I thought it was, right? So we want to have the specificity of the vision, but not really all the specifics in place in terms of who, what, where, when, why, and how, okay? But the actions here still, the tasks that you do to embody this energy, it needs to be focused on the Ten of Coins and not the life that you are hoping to keep intact. Because that life that you are keeping intact just led you to the Five of Coins and put you in a really tight spot. All right, so we want openness, we want new. That's the whole thing. We want new things. We don't want to go back. See, this is what I mean, like past versus future. The past is screaming at you to come back. The future is whispering, but you have to tune into the whisper. I'm telling you, when you tune into the whisper, you will feel so much peace. Okay? Because that high priestess can bring peace. And I feel like that's what she's here to do, is to bring a sense of calm. This to me feels really anxious. Now, the Nine of Swords did come out at the end. This is the beginning of Scorpio season here. And I just think this is part of the battle. Like when you start to embody and you start to move in this way, there's always going to be that voice that says you're doing it wrong. That's not really it. That's the devil. That's the demon. That's the ego. That's the pride. That's all that stuff that comes with the devil. And it's very loud. Like, I can't describe it. Like, this card feels so subtle to me. You have to focus on the subtleties. The things that are screaming at you, that are so loud in your voice, like so loud in your head. We have to find a way to disregard those because they are misleading you. I feel like it's an adversarial energy that is trying to pull you down kind of a wrong track. And I'm not saying you all have like, dark spirits around you or anything like that. It's just an adversarial voice that's very afraid of letting go. It's very afraid of this fire that's being ignited right now. There's not really any reason to be afraid of this, and I don't even think that you really are. It's more so being afraid of letting go. Because there's clearly some kind of an attachment going on here. But like I say with the Five of Swords, like there's no winning in this scenario. No one's winning. So we have to be aware of the voices that are screaming, that are so loud. The voices that do not give you rest, that do not give you peace, are not the voices to listen to. It's not the dialogue. It's not the narrative that you should pay any mind to. It is the sweet whispers where you find relief. And you find a sense of freedom. And you find this sense of, like, it's going to be okay. Okay? This was kind of a tough reading, Leo. But let's see what comes through here with the oracles. Oops, sorry. I did see that one. Take time to breathe out. Yes, that's the high priestess energy. Take time to breathe out. Whether you meditate, whether you pray, whether you take walks in nature, you listen to peaceful music, that is where your alignment with the Ace of Wands is going to come from. It's not going to come from trying to make anything happen, right? Trying to do this and trying to get this person to do that and trying to get them to see it this way and trying. Trying right now is not your friend. Okay? It's not going to work out well to try. Of course, I'm saying, I guess there are things to try for. Obviously, I want you to try to go to work every day. You get what I'm saying. But it's like this grasping, this desperation. We really don't want to feed that in any capacity. Okay? So let's see what else comes through here with the animal spirit deck. What does Leo need to know? The final... Oh, goodness. Okay, we got this one. It says, snake spirit, it's time to heal. Yeah, I'm really happy healing came out. Because I do think this high priestess, Ace of Wands, and even the Knight of Coins, this is what it's for, is to help you heal. Because this situation came about from a place that was allowing something that it shouldn't have allowed, right? There was a violation, or there was a lack of boundaries, or a lack of standing up for yourself, or a lack of something. And it got you to this place of strife. Again, financial, health, or relationship-wise, whatever it is, there was something traumatic, some wounding, some patterning, some karma, whatever it is, that carried over, and what got you there. And the fact that there's like still a fight to prove that this is the way, shows that there is something adversarial that is kind of like, it's really got a hold on you. And so the quiet stillness, right? This is where the healing is going to happen. And when we let in the light and we let the fire melt the ice, we finally lose the attachment to whatever this is. And it's the loss of the attachment that enables the 10 of coins to really blossom and to come about. And the best course of action, Leo, is truly a one step at a time and daily tasks. Focusing on daily, it's like quitting smoking or quitting drinking alcohol. It's like just one day at a time, 1 hour at a time, 1 minute at a time, whatever it is. Because this almost feels like this is so heavy. It almost feels like an addiction. I'm not saying it's an actual addiction, but it almost kind of feels like that. It's so heavy in this reading. It's so like loud and in your face. And the fact that it kind of comes back and it's like it's screaming, like it's just so agitating. That is not the voice at all, but something is trying so desperately to stay alive. You have to be the one to kill it off, okay? This is about eliminating the attachment to the past. This is what Pluto out of bounds is all about. Pluto out of bounds is opposite of you. We also have this Saturn-Neptune conjunction, which is dissolving a lot of those institutional and, institutional things in your life. So, this is truly about finding freedom once and for all. So let's pull out the clarifiers for you, Leo. Let's see what comes through with the 5 of coins. What else do you need to know for the 5 of coins, Leo? Whoops, sorry. We got the 4 of cups. Let me get all these back in here, make sure they're not upside down. Okay. For the 4 of cups. Oh my gosh, what is going on? Got that one, I got that one. Another 7 of coins, another 9 of swords, and a 6 of swords. Judgment. Another 5 of coins. So a lot of these cards are already repeating themselves, which means those are very strong energies that you're contending with. 3 of swords, 6 of wands, 5 of cups. Justice, 9 of cups, King of coins. The Empress, 3 of coins, the Star, the Emperor, the 2 of swords, 3 of cups, 10 of wands, Knight of cups, 8 of wands. Beautiful, love the 8 of wands. Ace of swords, 8 of cups, and 8 of coins. And then we have the 7 of swords, Page of wands, and another Page of coins. All right, Leo, this is where we're going to pick up in the comprehensive. So if you want to join, you are more than welcome. Thank you all so much. I will see you soon. Take care.